Joining me now, National Security Council Coordinator for Strategic Communications, John Kirby. Admiral, thank you very much for being with us. I know that we believe, the United States believes, that those imprisonments and those trials and those charges were not true. And we're happy to have these individuals back. When will they be on a plane back and out of Iran?
I don't really know right now. We're still working out the details and parameters here about eventually securing their freedom and when that will be, what that will look like. But we don't really know right now. We're just really happy that they're out of Evin prison because the conditions there were just intolerable. So they're in house arrest, but they're still in Iran. They're not home yet, and we still have a lot of work to do to get them there.
Have we been in touch with them directly? Do we know what condition they're in?
We have been in touch with them through the Swiss. I think, as you know, Katie, we don't have diplomatic relations in Tehran, so we work through the Swiss. The Swiss representative did have an opportunity to meet with all of them once they got out of the prison, see them physically, talk to them, and that's how we know that they're out and that they're generally okay.
What are we giving Iran in return?
Again, this is an ongoing process, Katie. We're just at a very, very first step. It's an encouraging first step, but it is just that. And so I think you can understand why we wouldn't want to go into too much detail here until we can get them secured. And by that, I mean home with their families where they belong. We're going to have to be real careful about what we say on this negotiation process.
I understand that there is reporting coming out, sourcing attributed to officials in the government about a potential prisoner swap with prisoners, Iranian prisoners here in this country. There's also talk about releasing $6 billion in frozen funds and allowing Iran to access that for humanitarian needs.
Yeah, look, again, I've seen the press reporting. I'm just not going to speculate or comment on the negotiation process while it's really still ongoing. This is a good first step, but it is just that first step. What I can tell you what's not going to happen is there's not going to be ransom paid out of taxpayer dollars to Iran. There's not going to be sanctions relief. And we're going to continue to put the pressure on Iran for all their destabilizing activities and behaviors, as we always have and will continue to do. We're focused on getting these Americans home. That's first and foremost, and I'm just not going to speculate publicly about what that's going to look like.
Well, let's talk about what it's not going to look like then, as you began to there. Is it going to look like Iran getting money that they could use for their nuclear program, potentially?
What I can tell you is, again, no taxpayer dollars involved here, no ransom, no sanctions relief, but we are working through a set of steps to see what can we do to finally secure their freedom. And that's what we're focused on. Again, I'm not going to go further than that.
I know the negotiations have been ongoing since at least February, on and off. Can you say that this is going to result in any movement potentially for another version of the Iran nuclear deal?
We're focused on these individuals and getting them home. That's what this is about. This isn't about linking it to nuclear negotiations or anything else. As I said, we're going to continue to put pressure on Iran in the region. We just added military resources in the Arabian Gulf for that purpose, and we're going to continue to do that. We are not in negotiations with Iran over their nuclear program at this time. That's not the focus of the administration, given what Iran is doing to support Russia, given what they're doing against their own people. So it's just not part of the agenda right now, and I just don't want to speculate beyond that.
The last prisoner swap with Iran was under President Obama, and it got a lot of criticism, heavy criticism from Republicans. If this does happen, and if the reporting is correct that $6 billion will be released, even though it is only for humanitarian purposes and it won't be just handed over to them, it will be sanctioned or divvied out by a third party. If that is true, and maybe there's a prisoner swap, if that is true, what is the White House's response going to be to Republicans who will criticize the administration?
I think there'll be criticism no matter what we decide to do. Unfortunately, that's just a reality here. But I hope that people will remember that these are 5 Americans that were wrongfully detained, had no business being detained in the first place on sham charges, and we're trying to get them home. They don't belong in Iran. They belong home with their families. And I hope that at the end of the day, that A, we can secure that release, and B, people will realize that getting them home, that's the paramount concern by President Biden and this administration, and we're just not going to stop. We're not going to feel good about this. We're not going to feel safe until they're safe at home.
I know you don't have a time frame, but do you have a general time frame? Is it going to be a year? Is it going to be 6 months? Can you give us any sort of idea?
Look, I mean, the best guess I could give you would be a matter of weeks, I think, is what we're looking at right now. But again, this is Iran, and we need to be careful about, getting ahead of our skis on this one. Iran can be fairly unpredictable. This is a good first step. We think that hopefully it will lead to their freedom in a matter of weeks. But again, we're right in the middle of this, Katie. These are active, ongoing negotiations, and we just got to make sure that we hew to that task.
As you said, the United States does not currently have diplomatic relations with Iran. Is this a step toward de-thawing our relationship?
This is about getting wrongfully detained Americans home, pure and simple. Nobody's under any illusion that by doing this, there's going to be some sort of rapprochement with Iran. Iran is still supporting Putin's ability to kill innocent Ukrainians. They're still supporting terrorist networks in the region. They're harassing maritime shipping. I don't think anybody thinks for a moment that if we're able to secure their release, it's going to suddenly fix all our problems with Iran.
Any update on Paul Wheeler or Evan in Russia and what's going on with the negotiations there?
Sadly, no, other than to say that we are actively working on those two cases as well.
Paul Whelan, excuse me.